So, today we're gonna go from Chicago to Emeryville in Southern California outside San Francisco. And now we're heading out towards the train. So, this is the Chicago Union Station. I leave a link in the description down here and up in the corner so you can see the review of the station. And I also have access to the Amtrak lounge if you want to see that. This Amtrak train is called the California Zephyr, and it's one of the most scenic train routes in the United States, so this is going to be a real nice experience. And on this trip I have a roomette for myself and no one else, and it's on the upper floor. That's nice. Well, it's time to leave, so I do a review on the roomette later. Let's have a beer in the observation car. The California Zephyr has 34 stops. It goes through 7 states and over 2 mountain chains. And it's about a 52-hour train ride. Just above 52 hours. So let's take a quick look at the clock. And yes, we left right at time. And they actually have a bar up here. So here's the menu in the bar, in the observation car. But let's head back to the room and check that out before dinner, I think. The seats are very comfortable. And here you have the menu for the upcoming 3 days. It's the same menu for the whole trip. So I'm gonna try as much as I can on this menu. And you also get 1 alcoholic beverage for the food, and the rest you can buy as many as you want. So let's take a look. Here we have a table. It's not that steady, but it's working. It's a little bit low at the end. It's almost touching my legs. It's an old train. Come on, get in there. And here we have some emergency information. Here you can charge your stuff. And a reading lamp. Nice. And climate control. It's very flat and cold in the beginning of this ride. But let's go take a look at the restroom while it's still clean. And we can maybe compare it in 3 days and see if it's better or worse. But it's pretty close. And here you also have a shower. That's really nice. And here in the beginning of this journey, it was a really rock and roll ride. The train was rocking from side to side a lot. It was sometimes pretty hard to walk. And I think it's even worse when you are on the upper level, of course, because it's higher up. And here in Galesburg, I caught this awesome steam engine on tape, but it was barely. And here you have a first stop that you can get off and take a look at the steam engine if you're quick. But it was a little bit too cold for me, so I skipped that. Maybe next time. And here we're crossing the mighty of the mightiest rivers, the Mississippi River. This is huge. And we're also leaving the first state of Illinois and entering. Welcome to Iowa. And then it was time for dinner, and I'm gonna try to explain the dinner routines. There are 2 seatings, and they also always fill the tables. So if you're traveling alone, you're gonna get seated by some strangers. And I really like that, because when you're traveling alone, you're gonna meet a lot of new people. And there's of course a lot to talk about. But if you don't like that, you can always get your food delivered to the roomette, or if you have even a bigger room, of course. And for appetizer, I got the shrimp. It was okay. The steak was really good. And the chocolate cake as a dessert. And when I made it back, Ariel has made my bed. I think her name was Ariel. I apologize if it was not. The onboard service crew girl. They always help you with the bed. Fold it and unfold it in the morning if you want to. So let's take a look at today's progress. We made it quite a lot. We're almost in the third state of Nebraska. That's nice. It's dark outside, it's time to get some sleep. And up here we can change to night mode and it gets really dark and cozy. So, first day is gone. Let's see you in the morning. Good morning! Day 2. Still very flat and very cold. Let's take a look where we are. We are in Colorado. Good progress during the night. Almost in Denver. Time for breakfast. And in Denver we actually have a couple of hours to spend. So let's explore Denver after the breakfast. And for breakfast I had this great French toast.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is James from the dining car. Apologize for a late opening announcement, but we were very, very busy this morning. We filled up to capacity and had people waiting. We couldn't get any more people in the dining car.
And as you hear, the dining car was pretty much full, and that's not for the Romette and room travelers, it's for the coach travelers, because if you're traveling in coach you can actually buy access to the dining car if there's seats available. And here we have the course field, the home stadium of Colorado Rockies baseball team. But anyhow, now we are in Denver. Let's get out. By the way, they have coffee almost every time in every car in the Romette cars classes. Let's get out. Well, it's a very nice day, but it's extremely cold, so let's go see Denver a little quick. This is the Union Station. Outside the Union Station. It's too windy and too cold. I can't do this. Let's head back to the train. And I'm from Sweden. That's a little bit embarrassing. But here at the end of the train you can see how much ice and snow it is. And up there, that's my window. Pretty big one. And here you actually have a luggage car. If you have a lot of luggage, or if you're traveling in coach, you maybe don't want to bring all your luggage with you all the time. So you have a luggage car if you want. And now after Denver, the fun and scenic route begins.
You're going to see the city of Denver to your left, and climbing up very quickly. Head through the tunnel district here in about 12 minutes.
By the way, these cars filled with gravel are here for wind protection only, nothing else. To protect the train from the high speed winds that can be up here. But anyhow, if you're only here for the scenic route, you don't have to go between Chicago and Denver. That's completely unnecessary because that's just flat, it's nothing to see at all. But today's first mission is to climb the Rocky Mountains. You can actually see the Denver skyline down there. And because this is the most popular part of the journey and this first scenic one and the first climb, I decided not to go to observation car because I thought to myself that it's gonna be full. I'm probably not gonna get a seat anyway, so I stayed in my room and watched out my own window. There are almost 2 days left, so I think I have plenty of time to see the observation car as well. And as you probably have seen, I put a time lapse up in the corner from the whole thing. Actually, I haven't mentioned how much I paid for this journey. I paid $850. I don't know if that's much or not, but I think it's well worth it. I was alone in the Romette. Maybe it's a little bit less if you're two people sharing it. And now we're getting closer to our first stop in the Rocky Mountains, and after that we're gonna take a look at the train, the coach class, the dining car, and so on. So let's get out and get some air. That cool guy in the Colorado Avalanche shirt and the Santa hat is actually the engineer, or the locomotive driver, or what you want to call it. So this is a quick stop at Fraser Winter Park, Colorado. Then it was time to leave this winter wonderland and head further up into the mountains. And down here you have some more showers. I think that's only showers. And I think this is the cabin personnel space. And well, let's go and take a look at the end of the train maybe. And here's a little bit of the dining car. And here we have the observation deck, and down below it's the cafe car. And up here they have a small bar, but it was closed right now. And at this part of the trip it's the biggest chance for you to see wildlife. I actually saw a couple of mooses and deers and stuff. Some cool birds also. So let's head down to the observation deck and hang out there until lunch. Now we're going through the coach classes. I think the 3 last cars were coaches. And as you can see, traveling in coach ain't that bad. There's a lot of space in these seats and they are very comfortable. The observation car has these really cool panoramic windows, and actually here I saw my first moose. It was about 5 minutes after Fraser, and it was really hard to see and I barely got it on camera. So I'm not even gonna bother to point it out, but if you really want to see it and try to find it, it's on the right hand side of the picture right now. But now I'm gonna find some bad but YouTube friendly music and do a montage. If you don't like it, just skip a couple of minutes. It's gonna be bad music and nice landscape footage. Let's go.
cave down there.
And then there was almost time for some lunch. So here you can see a little bit more from the dining car. I'm just gonna go and change my outfit to a nice shirt or something. I really like these doors. You can open them with your foot if you want to, or your hand. It's pretty good if you had your hands full. This hamburger is the only footage I have from the lunch because, I mean, look at this amazing view. And I really had a good time with my new friends at the table, so I basically forgot to film anything. But anyhow, let's keep going with the montage. Now we're going down towards Grand Junction. God damn. This was a pretty amazing part of the trip. I mean, you have the Colorado River, the Interstate 70, and the Amtrak train. Crisscross of roads. All in the same space through this narrow canyon. Pretty amazing. I remember I drove here like 15 years ago, and it's pretty cool in a car too.
If you're going with us beyond Grand Junction, seating you'd like, I do not take your order. You'll spend plenty of time to work.
I was pretty lucky that my Romette has the window to the right side, but if it's not, you can always go to the observation car and hope that you have a seat left. Or, like my neighbors did, they had one Romette on each side of the train.
Okay, all right.
Then it was time for a quick stop at the Glenwood Springs, a really quick one. And then the views got pretty boring from my room. No, not boring, less interesting. So I moved to the observation car and had a couple of beers and talked to complete strangers and socialized a little bit. It was a really nice way down to Grand Junction.
I know.
And all of a sudden we were entering Grand Junction. The station building is not that much to hang in the Christmas tree, but they had a mini-mart here. So if you're in coach, for example, and are tired of the cafe car, you can always run into this mini-mart and buy some stuff. We were here like 15-20 minutes, so we have plenty of time to do that. And after Grand Junction, somewhere in the high desert, I don't know exactly where, but there we entered the state of Utah. And Utah is a state I really want to explore more in the future. And I choose to have the last seating for the day, for the dinner. And I had some salad and a really good salmon and a cake as dessert. And then it was dark and time to go to bed. Pretty slow progress today, but hey, we've been climbing a lot of mountains. Well, probably the last day. Gray weather. Let's make something out of this day. Let's go have some breakfast. And for breakfast I tried an omelette with potatoes, croissant and bacon, and it was pretty good actually. Yeah. And today we're gonna climb the Sierra Nevada mountain chain. That's gonna be really cool. But first, a quick stop in the biggest little city in the world, Reno. So as you probably already figured out, we entered Nevada during the night and we're almost leaving Nevada now early this morning and heading to California. And they announced that there was a huge snowstorm up in the mountains. So let's see how much of a delay we're gonna get. And now we're entering the first California town of Truckee, Western gold digging mountain town. I really love this Romette. It's a little bit tiny maybe if you're two people, but only one, well, it's enough of space for me. And shout out to the conductor, I think it was the conductor, who was telling stories and trivia about the route over the Sierra Mountains. It was very interesting to listen to that and soak in the atmosphere. And this time I got my lunch into the Romette, and this time it was some grilled cheese sandwich with some chips. Really good. And then cake as a dessert. Nice. Well, can't complain about the view. And the snow removing crew was working really hard to keep the tracks open, and it actually was. We didn't get any delay at all up here. Look at all that snow! And I'm from Sweden.
Vanilla butter cake.
And now it was a really smooth ride down the mountain. The engine wasn't working at all. So it was very calm, almost no noise, and just floating down the mountain. Then I noticed that my Romette on the other side of the hall was empty, so I could walk over there and film out the other way as well. So I have the views on both sides now. Then the weather changed really quick. I think it was like 10-15 minutes and the snow was gone. And all the way down it was getting warmer and warmer and more sun as we're heading towards the coast of Southern California. And you have probably already noticed the time lapse up in the corner. Also you can see this for yourself. From a lot of snow to no snow at all in no time. Then it was time for the last stop before the Bay Area in California, and that was Colfax.
Sacramento.
And of course I didn't show you when I showered yesterday, but it was down here in this shower because I found it was a little bit bigger than the one upstairs. So use the one down here, and it was not that rocky down here as well. And when there was only a couple of hours left of this journey, I found this safety cards instructions and a very useful map over the train. I wish I found this a little bit earlier though. And then I think there was a little bit of a flooding in the Bay Area. I don't think there's supposed to be this much water around here. So, some final words about this trip. Well, I could probably get the plane for half the price and a tenth of the time. But this is a journey, this is an adventure. You meet a lot of new people, and I will probably do it again. Maybe not in coach, but in a Romette with a friend and some beer. This is fun. And some of the views you see on the way, it's not possible at all to see it another way, because there's only a railroad around there. No roads, nothing. It's mountains and forest and a railroad. And as the sun set, this 52-hour trip was almost over. You can actually see the skyline of San Francisco on the other side of the bay. And here we are, Emeryville, only 24 minutes late. That's not bad at all. Emeryville, end of the line. If you like what I do, or like my movies, feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment maybe. But until next time, see ya!